Councillor, we might just need to, we've got, everyone wants to speak now, so I'm going to try and differentiate between questions and I apologise, the Mayor, I can't see, so I know the Mayor wants to speak. But can we just bring a little bit of logic into this before we now debate the entire issue without, as Councillor Brewer said, the information in front of us? Part of what, with the mover and seconder's approval, we added in the words around the Finance Committee and the annual plan process. So this is when we have the opportunity to at least get some of that extra information. And as our CFO explained, that then becomes part of the consultation. What's being put here is saying, can we at least get this back on the table as part of a wider discussion? So I think we just need to...
Well, the logic would be to get the financial advice first, Madam Chair, if you want to talk logic.
And I'm just trying to actually support a well-intended attempt by our councillors to get this on the table. And this happens all the time. We respect that, and it's democracy.
Well, Madam Chair, I don't respect you saying, can we have some logic in this after I've spoken?
That's right. Well, hang on. Councillor,
that was unfair.
No, Councillor Brewer.
We please have some logic in this.
No, what
was your opening comments?
Process.
Councillor, you need to just be a little bit less sensitive, because the point I was making was...
That's coming from the most defensive.
No. Councillor, just breathe. You're actually trying to foment an argument here that doesn't exist.
No, you started.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, so you see my discussion was very logical.
Quiet, Cameron, listen.
I'm not going to enter into this.
Well, that would be a first, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I don't want to speak.
No, I don't want to talk. I don't want you yet.
Good, right, okay.
So, can you just explain again the issue that you when I asked you about the difference between the LTP and the annual plan process, can you just remind councillors again what you gave, the information that you gave us?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. Like stated earlier, there is a two-part process we need to do with this. Firstly, the LTP that you adopted last year does not contemplate this.
Thank you. Yeah,
thank you. As a result of that, what we have been working with the team on, and the team includes people in Dean Kimpton's area, it includes people in Jim's area, it also includes Panuku Development Auckland as part of, as the, if you like, their finance being the custodians of the annual plan process. We will be working with you through a workshop that is the 28th of April to actually give you a more detail of what is proposed here. Secondly, as I mentioned earlier, given that this is not in the current LTP, we do need to consult. So we are working on the consultation material for you. We are also taking that through the approval process, which includes legal and audit, and we will be bringing that to you at governing body on the 25th of May, because that is the process for that to be adopted, and you can then go out and consult. You will have that the outcome of the consultation back to you, and you can then make your decisions. That may then mean that, depending on what your decisions are, that you may wish to then include a, should we say, slightly different policy to the current policy that you have in your LTP, whatever your decision is, in your next long-term plan, which will be 2018.
I think that was quite clear.
But Madam Chair, can I seek some clarity in that? Is the suggestion, if this is to go into the next annual plan, that we need to reopen consultation in this,
we've got submissions,
on this matter?
That's the submissions coming through.
Okay,
that's
hang
one
on.
of the results
Everyone's
of the
having an attempt to answer this.
Parties.
So can you just...
It did come through the annual plan.
Councillor
You
Casey,
listening?
Councillor Casey, this is not helping. Just let's all take a deep breath. So can you just explain the issue again?
The issue that we have is that the work that we are bringing forward to you is that what is proposed to effect the work that's being done is that who would be delivering the housing for older persons. Now that is the point that is not in your long-term plan, and that is the need for consultation.
Yeah,
It's not clarified, Madam.
yeah, so I'd,
Got a question.
so we just need, and this was discussed, it may have slipped people's notice, but remember, the whole issue of the JV was, the advice we had was that this did need to go out as part of the consultation process, and we were told that quite clearly at the annual plan meeting. If anyone missed it, I'm sorry, but we were given A, the explanation, and B, the facts that was what was required. So what I'm hearing you say, Sue, is that if we were wanting to make a policy change, that we could do the consultation as part of that.
That's
It's
correct.
pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any other way of interpreting that.
That is quite correct, Madam Chair.
I'm still
Okay.
not clear, Madam Chair. Can I just ask a question, because I can't get my head around that. We've already done the consultation. We've on the 16-17 annual plan. We had about 4 significant questions we asked, which were pretty much all about rating and about the transport plan, UAGC. And none of the meetings I went to was anything about this at all.
Oh,
And-
rubbish.
Councillor,
Yes, they
and
called us
Councillor Casey, please,
come up at any of mine
it's
either.
enough.
So what I'm trying to understand is when you say it's got to go out to consultation, our consultation for the 16-17 annual plan is over. It is closed. We've received the final report in our emails yesterday or the day before. And this is a major policy change, and that's what I'm concerned about, is we have not consulted on a policy change, because we can't have, because this came to us after the submissions closed. So that's what I'm trying to understand when you say we'll go out for consultation. Absolutely understand when we do the next LTP,
17.
I understand that, but when you say part of 16-17, I think we've gone right out of the process and might even be ultra vires. So that's what I want to understand, please.
We can do that for anything.
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, you are correct, Councillor Cooper, that the consultation on the items that we have raised in the annual plan has closed, and that will be brought back to you. This is the specific consultation that is required, and the Chair, Madam Chair noted this earlier, is required with respect to the proposed joint venture.
Okay.
So
That is your significant change.
And I think that's what people might have forgotten. It was explained to us that the JV needed to be
So can we just be
reconsulted
told, when
on.
is that going out?
The consultation material will come to you in governing body on the 25th of May for adoption and will then go out.
Thank you.
So I realise now what the confusion was. I thought everyone had remembered that. Obviously not. That's an important point, and that was why I asked the question, the difference between the annual plan consultation and the LTP consultation. If not part of that, then possibly part of LTP. But if people had forgotten that we had the extra round of consultation, the confusion now makes sense. So I hope that, thank you for the very clear question, Councillor Cooper. So let's go back to our speaking order. Councillor Penrose, you had a question.
So, Madam Chair, just on that, because I think this is pretty critical today, and to go 3-3, I think we'll do injustice. So, are you going to see questions, or are you going to open it up now to the floor? What's the story?
So we've had 3 speakers in support. Happy to have some questions. We are hoping, I am hoping that this might not be a 3-hour debate. We seem to specialise in those. I guess I'm asking people, if you've got a genuine question, do it. But I think this is
All right.
something
Well,
we should
Okay,
move
Madam
on.
Chair, and it's a difficult one for you to chair, and I respect that. And I'll get to my question. Being one that prior to 2010, we refurbished our housing for the elderly in Papakura, and we wanted to make sure we had that done before we rolled over to the new council. Although, Madam Chair, we've heard the discussion around the table today, this could be a significant implications to the LTP. And being one that supported the LTP, I'm one of those 9 that I feel will be at risk, and you've heard it's a major policy change around this table. On saying that, Councillor Noah is right, to the point where, we put $500,000 into the LTP for dealing with the homeless alone. It concerns me when I see the mover and seconder here that didn't support that LTP. So my question to you, sir, is, what is in the LTP, the life of the LTP, for dealing with the elderly?
I'll need to get that exact figure for you, and I'll provide it to you very shortly.
Thank you, Sue.
Happy for us to come back with that, councillor Penrose? Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, now I've got, so councillor Darby, question or speaking to the motion?
Look, I think I'd like to speak to it, and I'll be brief, but I'm struggling with this. Part of me feels to vote for it, but part of me is looking at that red caveat and other caveats that are not visible at the moment for me. We're looking at amending one paragraph out of Action 5, and I've just looked at Action 5, and there are 12 paragraphs in Action 5. And if you look at the balance that supports the bold part, which is the key Action 5 direction, when you start to read it, you think, wow, this is really good. This is a very good, solid direction. I thought we landed this really well. And, well, those that were here in 2012, I congratulate you. And it's pretty clear, maintaining at least, and I think those words were quite strong. Absolutely. And they are reinforced by the balance of what I'm reading. So I am troubled in supporting this, and it goes against a lot of what I stand for, not supporting this, but I am satisfied, having read what hasn't been put on the table, but maybe some of us have seen it and some of us haven't. I'm satisfied that the direction that we took in 2012 is the right direction. Now, we are going to be challenged coming with this unitary plan. That is the place where we can all stand up and say, yes, I'm going to vote for greater density on the land holdings owned by council to achieve an outcome where we can grow the number of senior dwellings on those titles. That will be a great opportunity for all of us, and those particularly who want to increase the numbers will be championing greater density come unitary plan decision time. That is the truth of it, folks, because we have other tools at our disposal to increase the senior housing stock, and that is just one of them. And when we come back to, if this does go through, for the CFO, I really need to understand the shortfall in the budget that we have at the moment to just renovate, let alone upgrade, the existing senior housing portfolio. I've recently viewed senior housing portfolio on the shore and seen a vacancy rate of 25% because we don't have the budget to renovate. I don't mean upgrade, I mean just $5,000 renovations to kitchens to make them livable. Some of them, I would be reluctant to put my dog in them. So we have got a long way to go on just the stock, the housing portfolio that we've got, let alone adding to it. The adding to it will come through the unitary plan provisions that hopefully we might sign up to.
Okay, thank you, councillor Darby. Councillor Cashmore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In very similar lines to Councillor Darby, actually, my heart really wants to support what's been put up here. You heard the speakers, and this is obviously a very real issue that we are facing in this city and probably in this nation. However, to provide a real solution, we need to do the real work, and some of that real work's been started by members of our ELT, coming up with a comprehensive suite of potential solutions. The unitary plan, as Councillor Darby's alluded to, also may provide a suite of potential solutions, and we need to understand the financial model so we can actually deliver and not just talk. So this is, to me, a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. What we need to do is to have that comprehensive piece of modelling and a good, sound financial basis so that we can actually deliver with a collaboration of the government, and that's absolutely critical.
Okay, thank you, councillor. Councillor Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm happy to support the notice of motion. I want to thank the presenters from the Seniors Panel, Council for Social Services, in supporting the notice of motion. no council is more aware of the challenges in housing in Auckland than this council. There is a crisis, there is an affordability crisis, there is a growing issue with homelessness. We're all aware of that.